Hi guys, and welcome to today's reading on what makes you stand out. It's kind of interesting because the stones that I was drawn to for this reading all have a different pattern, like how it would be on a cat. So it's kind of interesting. Anyway, for group 1 we have Petrified Wood and New Beginnings. Group 2 is Tiger's Eye and Connect with Fire. Group 3 is the Zebra Jasper with Soul Time. And group 4 is this Cheetah Agate with the High Priestess. Let me bring that up closer. Okay, so go ahead and select your pile using your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Group 1, welcome to your reading on what makes you stand out with this Petrified Wood. Okay, so there's a lot of things here, but the biggest thing that I would say makes you really, really stand out is how knowledgeable you are. It's not just knowledgeable. I mean, you have a lot of wisdom, okay? We have Merlin here with cosmic knowledge. And I just get this feeling of having a lot of wisdom here with Star Mother Arrakis. I see you as somebody, and here with Celestial Rose of Ma, someone who has a lot of cosmic knowledge. So whether that's in astrology, whether that's in manifestation, whether that's in healing with Sacred Phoenix, with about reinventing yourself, just someone very intuitive, someone very spiritual, someone who's really in tune with the cycles of time, someone that's very present in the moment, someone who I feel like is constantly evolving and changing. And is always willing to trade an old idea for a new idea if that new idea is more in alignment with what they believe to be true. Like, it's like you're constantly learning with this Page of Swords. You're always curious. You're always studying. You're always trying to know more, you know? And I think a lot of people come to you for your wisdom. With the Star Mother card, like, I just see you as being someone who a lot of people can depend on. You're very loving, very nurturing. And like inspirational, very inspirational. I think you can also handle a lot of things, right? Like when I get physical activity in this 10 of Wands, like I see you as someone who either is a strong communicator, you have a way of expressing yourself. But I think that you're able to endure a lot of things. So I'm thinking of someone who you can either literally work out quite a bit or engage in different physical activities. And I could see you as the type of person that likes to just push it to the limits. Whether that's, it's almost like a mental, there's a guy that I was hearing about. Anyway, it doesn't matter his name because I'm not going to remember his name right now. He was so successful in so many different areas that had to do with, I don't want to say occult. It's not necessarily occult, but it was things that had to do with like, Mind Valley. It's like Mind Valley type of stuff. So it has to do with consciousness, has to do with how, another example is like, the Shaolin monks or people who are able to push themselves beyond the limitations of what our mind or what our society thinks is capable for us. I see you as somebody who has this really big expanded consciousness that really believes that anything is possible. And it's like you're always wanting to be at the cutting edge of new information. And you almost want to test your limits as well to see if you could learn more, do more, be more, it's like you make the line in the sand right here, and then now you want to see if you could push it a bit further. And I see that with physical activity. I almost just got the image of like someone who practices yoga. Maybe you practice yoga, but I'm seeing with the flexibility. Like, so say you were a person that was really stiff once upon a time, and now, you can go into full splits, you can do these arm balances, you could do all of these things, you could push your physical, and it's really a manipulation of your body, but using your mind, right? Using this knowledge that you have, not just knowledge of, the mind. So even when I'm thinking of the mind, I'm thinking of like the different layers of the mind, you know how some people will listen to, using affirmations, using things at night while you're falling asleep, like using different levels of consciousness, using the cycles of the moon to manifest, or the seasons, using the seasons, um, just being in tune with the cycles and the seasons, right? And so you're not entirely having to push with your physical body. You're also using other aspects that are supporting you, whether it's the universal aspects or the cycles or whatever the case is. And what stands out, because here we have sacred phoenix heart. So this has to do with your heart. Like, I just feel this warrior spirit. I don't know if you have an affirmation. I just heard like, I am a warrior. Yeah, like a warrior of the light. And so it's just like you're willing to throw away everything that you think you know in order to have, a new experience, a new life, just a new experience. And that's what I'm getting with this Page of Swords. It's incredibly intelligent. And it's different forms of intelligence. It's more of a cosmic intelligence, a spiritual intelligence, the type of thing that people are like, how could you, most people like to remain consistent and stable in their beliefs, right? It's almost like they believe their beliefs are part of them. And that that's not true. Your beliefs aren't who you are. And, every time you're able to, it's like, well, which belief serves me better? Like, what beliefs do I have to get rid of? And that's what I see with this 10 of Wands in reverse. It's like, is this belief system serving me, or is it just like weight on my back that's holding me back from the new beginning that I wish to have, right? And I don't see you as somebody that's very polarizing, even though I see you as an independent individual. It's not like you try to push your beliefs onto others, but I see you as a person who is willing to share your beliefs with others, to help them, because again, with Ma and then Star Mother, it's like this very loving, nurturing energy. And you're always willing to share it with others. Befriend, the word polarize. And this is in reverse. So I don't see you as someone who is polarizing verbally, but I see you as someone who other people will end up looking at and admiring and being like, how does she do that? Like, wasn't she like, it's like once they think they figured you out, you're always constantly changing, like this phoenix, like willing to just burn away everything and just to sort of self-destruct or to toss away and release, only to come back stronger, more powerful, like the sun. And I see you as someone that really, really, really stands out like the sun. Like, I think you attract a lot of attention. A lot of people depend on your wisdom, your nurturing, your advice. It's so loving, I just feel like the Star Mother quality about you. Like, you may not be people's like, physical mother, but people really come to you for your deep, profound wisdom. And there's a sense of like an old soul vibe that I'm getting with this as well, and this staff, and just like a real big depth to you. Idyllic times, the garden, paradise. Yeah, so just a lot of wisdom, a lot of with this owl, a lot of like hidden wisdom, deep wisdom, wisdom in areas that people might have a hard time navigating in. And I see you as someone who can navigate and just have a lot of wisdom to transform, right? So again, it's transformation. And so I think a lot of like in areas where other people would feel completely like they're having a complete disintegration. Like, I think that's why people sort of cling to ideas and beliefs. It reminds me of the tower in the tarot, right? Like, when things start to fall apart, even if people start to have mental breakdowns, their ego gets removed. I'm thinking of the tower where like, it's like these old beliefs, old ideas have to be removed in order for new ones. And it's like people go through like mental breakdowns with stuff like that. And I know it's not easy, but on the outside, people just look like you're just like the phoenix rising, They don't see the work that goes into it. And I think you're like a pro at it at this point, or you're working on being a pro at it. And that a big part of that has to do with this calmness and serenity that's within you. Even though you have all this fire to go and get started, people may not know and may not realize like how calm, peaceful, and serene you are, because I get this really fast moving energy with this Page of Swords, physical activity, new beginnings, the Phoenix, but then you're always present in the moment, So stay in the present moment and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come that can be handled in each moment. And I think that, again, this ties into this universal wisdom and cosmic knowledge, and just being okay with where you're at all times. And even if things do feel a little unstable, it's almost like the illusion of control. Like you understand that control is an illusion, and I think it's happened to you before. Maybe you've been doing this, you've been in the game for a while, you've been letting go of things for a while, so it's like things aren't going to take you off your stability. Things aren't going to take you off this calm, peaceful, serene state, because you're in the moment. You're not projecting into the future. You're doing what you need to do. And I also really do get a sense of like physical activity. Like you keep it moving. You're a person that keeps things moving. You're always, having intentions. Like I see you as a person who always wants to study, always like a lifelong learner type of person, and it isn't a burden on you. It's not a burden on you. In fact, for you, it would feel stagnant. You would feel like your needs aren't being met if you just stayed as you were, right? And I see you as someone who feels like the more that you go, the more that you change, the more that you upgrade and improve, the closer you get to who you truly are. With this garden and paradise, and I see this garden and paradise as being something that is within you. This like it's like Agartha, or that inner earth, right? And just like it's like inside of you. I just see like it's like it really is polarizing now that I'm thinking about it. It's like within you, peace, serenity, stillness, being present, being in flow. Outside of you is like this whirlwind of activity and fire, 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 fire. But you're so grounded in it with this petrified wood. I see you being so rooted throughout all of this. And so I think that, people might get confused by you. They're like, how does she move around and do all this stuff? But it reminds me of like the king of wands. He is someone who, it's like he thrives in those environments of change, right? But on the inside, you're like the king of cups, who is very peaceful, very serene. There's a very deep spiritual aspect to you. Someone who's like almost like, I don't want to say a monk, but someone who has just this profound knowledge and knows how to find stillness, and it doesn't get too caught up in the ups and the downs of life. And so so you're a big inspiration to others, whether they say it to you or not. Like they look to you as an inspiration, and almost like a mother figure, I would say, through whatever, maybe not even just the conflicts, but just the changes, the challenges. They look to you for your knowledge, for your wisdom. And I feel like you have wisdom of all sorts for all types of situations, all types of scenarios. And because I think you've been through it so many times, right? And I think you also have a sense of where other people are, because you've reinvented yourself so many times, right? So it's like you know what you can say to someone to sort of put them at ease, and you can reflect back to them where they're at, and where they sort of need to not work to get to, but how they can find themselves in this stillness, right? So even right here, we have physical activity, and then we have the present. So this is like movement, and then this is like the stillness, right? And even with physical activity, I mean, it's hard to be, at your peak. Like, I mean, in exercise, like if I'm thinking of, like if you have a Fitbit, right? And then you're either in fat burn or cardio or in your peak. And it's like you can't really be in your peak, your heart rate going at like 175 beats per minute, and you're thinking about, you can't really be thinking. All right, you're really literally brought into the moment when you're this sort of active physically, mentally. And so yeah, you're able to do a lot. You're able to do a lot, accomplish a lot, learn a lot. And yeah, people definitely admire you, and sort of look to you like, hey, okay, and so you're like the queen or the king of beginnings, new beginnings. A lot of times people may not like change, but I think that you are a person that is so rooted and grounded that you see change as like, okay, well, I'm going to set my intention for doing this, and that tomorrow. And then you keep your word on it, right? And I just see you as someone who's not it's like you're in a rush to get things done and to change things, but there's a part of you that's like very mindful of divine timing, of cycles, of whether it's the initial part of like, I'm seeing Aries here, so it's like the beginning of a season, like the go, and then with Taurus, just like the fixed signs, like just rooting something down, and just things like that. It's just I could just really see you as someone who is a go person, but it isn't just all just go, and it may, it's like you're like the colors of the rainbow, like you have space for each part of it, and it's really cool. Like, it's really cool. And with this Page of Swords, it's someone that's, I don't know if you're a young person, or there's this youngness to you. There's a youthfulness to the way, because when I think of like the old, like the kings and the queens, like they're a little bit more set in their ways. So regardless how old you are, you're the type of person who is always open-minded, is always curious, and that's something that like you can be older and like that, and so that has a lot of good quality. You're not stuck in your ways is essentially what I'm saying, and you just adapt easily with people, and I think people like you. You know how to get along with people, I just see you as someone that also really, really values your freedom of thought, your freedom of action, your freedom to live your life. And you're just someone who loves life. Like, I see you as someone who feels very empowered to do the things that you do, or get to do the things that you want to do. Very empowered, because the more that you can, like, you're able to begin new things because you're very secure and solid in yourself and who you are. And so yeah, so that's what I'm seeing that really, really stands out about you, is like you're really able to take something from the beginning to the end, and really transform yourself just based off of just like the way that you really love and nurture yourself, the way you take care of yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually, through difficult times, and you're able to see things through to completion in that way. And you're just someone who likes to evolve over time. And so it's like the phoenix rising, just a very, very powerful mind, a very, very powerful heart, and just a lot of energy, and wisdom. And it's not just energy, but it's also quietness as well. It's like this complete polarity. Befriend the word polarize. Like, you're just like these opposite poles, and that's sort of like part of the cosmic wisdom that we're talking about, like the sun and the moon, the masculine and then the feminine. It's just this really great balance of the two. And so we have the Four of Wands here twice. And I just see this as you're able just to maneuver. You're able to maneuver very easily. So anyway, that is your reading, pile one. I think you guys are really, really cool. So thanks for allowing or staying till the end of this. And if you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Group 2 with this tiger's eye. This is your reading on what makes you stand out. Okay, so you have a really, really cool spread right here. So this has to do with, I mean, you obviously. I was going to say this has to do with you. This has to do with, here with spiritual career and Midas touch, things are working out in your favor. I'm getting the sense that you are someone who is a healer of some sort with these hands. And okay, so there's different ways that could mean, right? And I see what makes you stand out is the way in which I see you as like bringing other people back to life in a way. So that's one thing. It's like with this devil in reverse, you help people recover. So whether it's an addiction, whether it's, some other type of stronghold, devil energy, whether it's a sex addiction, alcohol addiction, or old codependencies, family things where, like sort of like a narcissistic versus an empath, just sort of these strongholds that people find themselves in. I see you as someone who helps to heal people from these sorts of dynamics of just this devil energy and to get back to themselves, and to get back into this, just this more spiritual, free place. You help them on a really, really deep level. Like here with the Page of Cups, we have it upright and then we have it in the reverse. And, for me, the way I'm seeing this card is, with the Page of Cups, like what's coming out of his cup is like what's coming up from the subconscious. So upright, it's like positive things coming from the subconscious. And then in reverse, it's like the negative things that are popping up, the things that are scaring us and things like that. And with this Hermit card, I see you as somebody who helps to guide others with the wisdom of what to do with what's coming up for them, right? Because they don't know what to do, right? With this Two of Swords in reverse, it's like they're at a crossroads, like they don't know. And sometimes it's a very conflicted, very feeling for them because they're looking at it from both sides. It's like, because these things can very much conflict. It's like, with the example of alcohol, it's like, well, I don't want to drink, but if I don't drink, but if I do drink this, if I don't drink that. And so they get themselves stuck into this, this difficult spot. And I could see how you kind of light the way forward for them, with this spiritual career, and this connecting with fire. I just see that you as somebody who is, when we say fire and being connected to fire, and this Ace of Wands right here, I just see you as someone who ignites the spirit back into people. It's like people who've been overtaken and overcome by certain things, like where their spirit is just defeated. It's just like they've just been beaten down. With this, like, look at this, with this, with anxiety, with worry, with not knowing what to do. And they've been in this state for such a long time. I'm seeing with the Zodiac over here, that it's like, with this particular deck, there's actually blood on each one of the swords. It's like, I just see it as something that it's just so painful, just really, really painful situations, that people endure that have really left them feeling, at their worst, like they don't have, like, this is the opposite of this, is like you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find the path to your best self. It's almost like they're at a crossroads. They don't know how to get back to home, to themselves, their best selves. And I think that, and I also get the feeling that you may not realize like the profound impact as well, that you have on other people, or maybe you do, some of you, but I think some of you don't realize like how much this really transforms people's lives. I see you, because I'm getting the Sun right now, I see you as someone that people will gravitate towards. I see you as someone that people look to, and just like, feed off of your energy, right? Because I see, and like, use you as a light. The same way that these people are gathered around the fire, I see you as being the fire, and people are gathered around for warmth, in the darkness, right? For light in the darkness, because you're able to give them a better sense of the big picture. With this Giraffe card, take a step back and gather your thoughts and feelings. And, I think, and I see this as a spiritual thing as well. I think, here's another thing I'm getting is with your path and this giraffe is like what helps you restore this inner light in people, like, stuff that has been taken from them, or that they've it's like the fire that went out in them a long time ago. You have a way of like, they don't see that this is just part of their path, and I think for you, you're able to put things in perspective for them and able to show them how, their experiences are helping to grow them and build them and help them along their path. How do I explain this a bit more? But you're able to make them find not the value in their experiences, but it's almost like it's like just a more positive way and helping them to integrate the knowing. So it's like taking these lessons and actually integrating them, as opposed to, having this worry, this anxiety. It's like, okay, well, what do I do with this when this comes up? What do I do when this pops up? You are like a guiding light, or people can come to you through your business. When we say career, like, I don't know, maybe you guys have an actual career in healing, or maybe you're planning to, or you're going to, or maybe it could really mean different things, but I just see you as somebody who's able to help people integrate their experiences into their life, or into like, and it's almost like an acceptance. What I'm trying to say is like it helps them to accept their situation, or whatever hardships or struggles or things that really, really got them down and really dimmed their light. That's what I'm seeing with this devil card and this torch being held down and them being chained. It's like these old soul things that are like dimming their light and keeping them stuck. And you're able to help them see how these things coming, like all these, how to integrate things like piece by piece. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Dear Lord, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. So it's getting them out of, these strongholds, allowing them to see, to move past fear, to just learn how to integrate their experiences in order for them to reignite that spirit within them, that that desire for life, there's not just desire for life, but just passion, these types of things, like that inner, like, because some people, a lot of experiences that we go through can really have us feeling very defeated, and it takes a really long time to heal from them. Like an example would be like, say it's like drug addiction, or just relationships, abusive relationships, like just different things. It's like it's really defeats some of us, and I just see you as someone who really helps people sort through all of that stuff and really helps to heal them in a deep and profound way. And you're also someone who uses, it's not just like, going to a doctor. It's someone who uses like spirituality, with expanding your consciousness and Aditi. It's like, I see you as being someone who's very intuitive and spiritual, and then using these principles and ideas and concepts in order to, so stay knowledgeable about, like, I even just heard a hypnotherapy for a second with the subconscious, and just different types of intuitive, I don't know if that's an intuitive art, but it's like a reprogramming, and just expanding the consciousness of other people. And it's almost like magical, right? So that's what I'm getting with the Midas touch and the hermit and the staff actually turning into a serpent. It's something that's it's like you're meant to do this, like, this wisdom that you have, this magic, it's like backed by the power of spirit, It's like you have all this wisdom within you, and it's meant for you to share it with others and to allow people to see things from, a bigger, more expanded consciousness, a higher vision of what this situation or these hardships are meant to teach them, and how to integrate that so that they can move forward. And so that really brings people back to life. It's almost like you're resuscitating them, and you're helping them through the process, through the journey. And it's almost like awakening them again, like, because I really associate some of this devil stuff and these strongholds, and then, breaking the chains, getting free, with, sort of unlocking a new, it's like the phoenix, it's, I don't know, it's like you're activating like that phoenix energy. I'm getting a lot of sun, a lot of phoenix, new beginnings. And perhaps this is something that you've obviously done this for your own self, but I see you as now at that level where you're doing it for others, and I'm almost seeing it's like that butterfly effect where now they get to go off and help other people as well. It reminds me of, like, in AA, or is it AA, where it's like, that's how the program of AA expanded. When I say AA, I'm talking about Alcoholics Anonymous, is one alcoholic helping another alcoholic, and then that one goes on to help too, and then that one goes on to help, and then it just keeps expanding and expanding and moving outward. And as they all recover, they're able to help others recover as well, and just sort of expand and expand. And the more that they sort of stay, like, the more information that they have, the more experiences they have to help other people as well. And so I see you as this person that just has like this great wisdom, this great power. I see you as someone who's very intelligent, very spiritual, very introspective, very detail oriented, particularly when it comes to the things that pop up. I see you as a mentor, like, a mentor. I don't know why I just heard shaman. For maybe some of you are practicing in shamanism, in like earth-based, I don't know, using the elements. Yeah. Or just something where there's a teacher and there's a mentor, and then there's a teacher, you know. Um, And I see you also as someone that has really, with this Aditi card, as someone who has really mastered both, both the masculine and the feminine within themselves, is able to receive information, and is able to introspect. But then with this fire is like you're able to really get out there and make things happen as well, and to bring things and really make a difference, and not just in the people's lives, but in establishing a business for yourself, like having plans, having structure, because part of, helping other people and helping yourself is creating routines and patterns and structures. And I think that this is, and rituals also for dealing with whatever comes up for you, whether good and bad, right? Because sometimes the good, what appears to be a good thing coming up from your subconscious, like when you're going through the healing process, can take you out of the game, right? So like, say you're feeling good. I'm going to keep using the example of alcohol because I'm getting an addiction vibe here as well. It's like, if you're having a great day, you think everything's good, you think that you can handle everything, and then that can just take you out of the game because you can go have a drink and that sort of thing. You can think that, oh, my partner, say it's like a abusive relationship, you start getting these good signals coming up, and that can take you out of the game and bring you back into this entrapment, right? So I think it's also like having the right routines, the right structures in place. And I think that you help people with that. So it isn't just the wisdom, but it's also the routines and the structures, and it's almost like there's you just have this yeah, just a very open crown chakra. And I feel like this is all coming to you, and you're like that type who is really, really connected, and you know what the right remedy is given a situation, whether it's for yourself or for someone else. And it's really to restore the sense of like home. That's what I'm getting, home here. The sense of home within themselves, like people to feel whole, to feel home, to understand their place in the world, their purpose, their path. I'm not saying that you help people understand their path, but like once all of this stuff gets cleared out, I think more people, like these sorts of answers allow themselves to be revealed, right? So yeah, so that's what I'm getting for your pile. So that's pretty cool. Um, it's pretty amazing right now. Um, and I just see you as just a really peaceful person, like through it all. Like I'm just looking at the faces here of these two. It's just very loving, very peaceful, very powerful, but in a gentle way, in a very, very gentle way. So yeah, so anyway, so that is your reading, group 2. If you like this reading, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. All right, guys, take care. Bye. Okay, group 3 with this zebra jasper stone. This is your reading on what makes you stand out. Okay, so it's definitely you're a very emotionally balanced person with this King of Cups right here. You're able to keep your cool, keep your composure under many circumstances that other people would start to become restless, discontent, discouraged, that sort of thing, right? And I see you as somebody who is able to just keep calm and serene. It's like you have with this Hygeia card, you have like this, I don't want to say spiritual hygiene. That sounds kind of weird, but with time in reverse, devotion in reverse, it's like you don't get fazed by, oh, I don't have enough time. Things aren't going to work out for me. Even with the Ten of Cups, we have the Ten of Cups twice over here, right, in reverse. So this is, maybe not being, you're able to work through not being emotionally fulfilled, right? So times where you're out, most people would be off balance, or things aren't necessarily working out the way that you would want them to work out. Like you're able to still keep your pace going. You're still able to get work done and stay focused, right? You're not going to start giving up or becoming sort of shaky in your devotion to whatever it is that you're working on, right? So that's with allowing. So this is a very spiritual card, and I see you as a very spiritual person, whether you know it or not. It's just you're not so affected by the circumstances around you going on, right? So with allowing, radical acceptance says yes to reality at any given moment, so what's needed can come next. So I see you as someone who's very like, yeah, just radically accepts things as they are. If you're not feeling happy, if you're not fulfilled, if you're things aren't going the way that you want them to, how you expect them to, you don't have enough time for this, or I don't know, whatever the case is, you are able to continue working. You're able to do so with and just be in flow. Like that's what I get with this Eight of Pentacles. It's not like the Seven of Pentacles where the guy is just working and just relying on hard work, and he's pushing himself and forcing himself to do the work. With this character here, it's somebody who just is still getting lost in their work, just doing it because they love to do it, doing it from a place of like just being in flow. It's like losing track of time, regardless of the outcome, it's just because it brings peace to you, because it's, that's what you should be doing, or whatever else. It's like you're able to maintain these routines, these structures. You're able to push yourself forward with this Emperor card. And it's like regardless of how you feel, right? With this King of Cups and this Emperor, it does not matter how you feel. You're able, and then with this this armor that he has on is like, I just see you as someone who's very strong, someone who's able to handle criticism, somebody who welcomes criticism even, in order so that, or people are going to give you criticism. That's, you know, and that doesn't stop you. That doesn't prevent you. You don't have to, so I think some people, like with the synchronicity in reverse, is like you're not waiting on signs to do what it is that you need to do. You're not waiting on your feelings to be a certain way. Things don't have to be moving quickly in order for you to keep working and keep at it. You don't get restless and irritable and reckless, based off of your feelings, or thinking like, oh, let me change directions because I'm not getting what I want. I see you as someone who's very patient, someone who has a lot of emotional intelligence, is very emotionally developed, has a lot of discipline, structure, routine, someone who knows who they are, what they're supposed to be doing, and does it regardless, and gets up every single day to do it. And this is what I'm getting with this hygiene or hygia, is like, it's like a very committed, someone who's very committed. It's like a hygiene. It's something that they do day in and day out, right? And it's like you just have this acceptance of things as they are. Also, what makes you stand out for some of you guys with this wheel card, like I'm getting that some of you guys, you have a car that makes you stand out, or yeah, some of you guys have a car that people do recognize, and is kind of like a badass type of car, or maybe it's like a very masculine car, or it's a red car, or something that stands out a little bit, from the rest of others, or maybe it's a fast car, something like that. Also, what else is there with this wheel and devotion? Okay, so I think too is the fact that you're able to keep going, even if things aren't working your way. Eventually they will. It's like you have the ability to change the wheels of fortune into your favor because you've continued. So say whereas other people would start to get some, when you're really trying to manifest things, and other people start to get like resistance coming up, you're not going to push back, and it's like you're just be like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing more of this and more of this, and in due time it will all work out. And so because you're calm emotionally and stable, and you're like, okay, it is what it is, it'll happen on its own time, I'm not in a rush, I'm patient, I don't have to be, things aren't going to always go my way. It's like it changes fortune for you, in time. It's like okay, it's something like, when I'm getting this Jupiter thing here too, it just brings you luck. It brings you fortune. It changes the tide for you, where as things weren't going your way because of your determination, your dedication, your consistency, your control or your discipline over yourself, over your emotions, not being and because you're emotionally intelligent as well, it's like you're more logical with your approach to things. Even though you're an emotional person with this King of Cups, it's like there's a logic behind how you go about things. Like it's just being extremely emotionally intelligent. Soul time. So the number 40 to me, that has to do with spiritual maturity. The age of I think maturity. For I think humans, right? that's just what I associate it with, is when we're spiritually mature, right? And I see this level of maturity, like of your soul. So you don't have to be 40 in order to be at this level of maturity, but it's like having that soul maturity, that emotional intelligence, soul intelligence. The frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Yeah. So that's why I think you're able to push through a lot of difficult times. Um, a lot of times where you feel like, I don't want to say disconnected from spirit, because it's not disconnected from spirit. With synchronicity in reverse and the 10 of cups, it's like you just don't rely on, it's like, it's like spirit gave you an assignment to do and you're doing it, and you don't need the constant like reassurance, the constant synchronicities, the constant good feel good feelings to keep you going. You just don't need it to keep you going and to keep you devoted to whatever it is that you are working on. And so yeah, it's, I feel like people kind of envy you in some sort of way with your level of commitment. How you're able to still keep committed and disciplined and to keep going day in and day out. Or maybe they're envious of what you're able to accomplish with how focused you are. Here we have Aries as well. Aries here. Yeah, with how driven you are. So yeah, even in the face of like adversity and hardship, and how easy, how like unfazed you are. Some people are really like that. I know a person that's like that, is like, no matter how hard things get, it's almost, I'm like, where's your emotions? Like, and I think and people can be envious of that, because it is a really, it's a really strong, it's just a really strong, there's something really strong about it, to that level of commitment, Anyway. So anyways, that is your reading, group 3. I hope it was helpful for you. If you liked the reading, please give me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, okay? Bye, guys. Group 4 with this Cheetah Agate. Here's your reading on what makes you stand out. So your card was the High Priestess card, okay? So you are extremely intuitive, very deep, have a lot of wisdom, are very perceptive with this perception card. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So yeah, you're very perceptive, and I see you as somebody who, with this reframe, this is happening for me, not to me. So on this side of the reading, I'm getting, the more disempowered sort of feeling. So I see you as somebody who's able to take a situation that appears negative, or it's like the illusion with this Devil card in reverse. It's like you're able to see past the illusion of things. Here where we have the 10 of Cups, usually in the 10 of Cups, this is the before tarot. So this happened right before, like the 10 of Cups in like the Rider-Waite deck. So, it's raining. In the Rider-Waite deck, there's a rainbow that comes out in that card, and everyone is happy. So this is right before that moment, right? And so you see here how everything is sort of dark, gloomy, all these clouds, it's raining, and this is what comes before the fulfillment, right? And so as the High Priestess, you have this deep knowing that, like, it's like your heart knows that this precedes that sort of thing, right? So you have this ability to really reframe things and to really be very truthful and to see past the illusion of how things are, right? Like when things get really heavy and burdensome, that there's something else or a different way to go about it, right? So I'm seeing this with the Go With The Flow card. Go with the flow, letting go, cleansing, and receiving. And then here I'm getting this wisdom. It's like that. I'm thinking of like the Fibonacci sequence, right? And so that is like this universal intelligence. And so, I see, and so this is divine feminine energy. And this card is reminding me of like a masculine energy, which is very, whole, like carrying things and just taking matters into your own hands. Whereas, when you get into this state where you feel very overburdened, you see that, that's not really where you're meant to be. You're supposed to be receiving, you're supposed to be in flow, and then things will just come to you in that way, right? And so that's like the magic of the universe. And so I see you as somebody, and that's how you stand out, is that you're always in flow, your heart is open. You have this, like, with this 8th house, is just this occult hidden knowledge, and people wonder probably why you have such a calmness and a serenity to you, and a quiet confidence. With confidence is your keys to success, new moon in Leo in reverse. I feel like your confidence is within you, and it comes across as very calm, very peaceful, like this high priestess, right? And so the same thing goes with temperance in reverse and the magician in reverse. It's like anytime you feel, or you're starting to sense like you're recognizing this is the illusion. I'm not disempowered. Things aren't out of whack, out of balance. I'm, you're able to see things for what they are, right? And with this to tell the truth card, it's like you're able to tell the truth to yourself, right? You're able to recognize the truth for yourself. And what I mean by that is with sacred mirrors right here is like, if you're feeling like overburdened by a situation, or disempowered, or having some type of conflict with someone, I think you also reframe it to, this is not happening for me, it's happening to me. This is happening for me, not to me, sorry. And so you're able, it's like you have this knowledge that things are being reflected back to you. There's something, and it makes you evaluate things and look at things in a very, very deep sort of way. If you keep finding yourself in a certain situation where you feel overburdened, say by other people's, workload or whatever, you're gonna, want to look into it and ask, yourself, and seek that inner wisdom as to why that may be happening, because things are just, you're the one that's creating this reality. And so, like, that's how you really tell the truth to yourself. Like, that's how you do the inner work for yourself. And that's how you see past the illusion, and you don't get too caught up in the outward manifestation of things, right? That's what I'm getting with this manifestation in reverse. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, well, it's rainy, things are not working out, like, screw it. You're gonna be able to understand that, oh, what's that? Oh, I just heard, oh my God, I heard Denzel say this, is like, the devil comes to get you when you're at your height, or something like that, in reference to, I think they were talking about Will Smith, like, hitting Chris Rock, and he had, I think, I heard something today, like, with Denzel saying, like, when you hit that pinnacle, or whatever, because Will Smith was winning an award, right? And I don't know why this just came up for me, but it's that sort of thing, is like when you're almost at the height, when you're almost at that breakthrough, it's like, it's, what's that, it's darkest before the dawn, And I think that because you are so connected, and you're so in flow with this wisdom and your perception, it's like this knowledge, and you're able to see things very, very clearly. You're able to know that that's what's happening, right? And so you're not discouraged. You're a person that has a lot of depth to you. You're mysterious. Maybe people think that you're way honest, maybe way too honest for some. Some people may not like that. Some people, probably people who are wanting to be empowered. You are magic. People see you as somewhat magical too. And perhaps you keep things to yourself. Like, that not everyone can handle your perceptions on things. Some people are pretty committed to staying where they are, right? And so, I've had this experience. It's reminding me of this where, people want to complain about things. People see it as a badge of honor to carry all this heavy burden on them. It's like the martyr syndrome. And then you can be like, hey, you don't have to do it like that. You can do it like this. And they're like, some people don't want to know the truth. So I get the sense that you're not for everybody, or you have to keep a lot of things to yourself because you are a peaceful person. And some people cling to these sorts of identities of being the martyr, being that person. Like, it's like the person who brags about, oh, I didn't even take a lunch today, or I've been work, and it's like there's some type of badge of honor that they think is associated with that. And so I think you sort of, keep a lot of your wisdom to yourself, because you know that it's not for everyone, and it's only meant for certain individuals, who can appreciate the truth, who are open to sort of letting go of some of the heaviness and the burdens, and maybe are more open-minded. So people see you as someone who is just very wise, very intuitive, psychic. You're very strong in following your inner wisdom and your inner voice. Again, you're just very confident in yourself, but it's a quiet confidence, right? Very calm, very serene. And check out pile 3 as well, because I kept hearing pile 3 when I was laying down your cards. And I think it, if it does, well, if you've been called to it, check out pile 3, because it kind of talks a little bit more of like how that manifests, in sort of like other areas as well. So, yeah, it's like you have the keys. I feel like you have the keys for manifestation, like within you, and things come to you. Just things come to you. People just see you as very mysterious and magical. They know that there's something about you. They It's something unique about you. They know that you're different from others. And they just know that you're very spiritual and very perceptive. I mean, you probably notice things that other people don't notice. You know? Yeah, you definitely notice things that other people don't notice, and pick up on things that they don't notice. And yeah. So anyway, that is what makes you stand out, group 4. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye.